The Caribbean Airlines 767 aircraft, which took the Caribbean delegates to South Africa for Nelson Mandela's memorial, will in fact be named for the great man. It will be called the Nelson Mandela aircraft. Well, South Africa and the world has said goodbye to Nelson Mandela today. A memorial service at the Soweto Stadium was seen around the world as leaders came to pay their respects and offer words of tribute. But as Jonathan Chase reports, even a hallowed occasion such as this could not shield current South African President Jacob Zuma from his critics.
Heads of state and government from around the world joined the thousands at the stadium in Soweto to pay tribute to Nelson Mandela. Those who could not get into the stadium watched from home on TV. The atmosphere was euphoric as South Africans celebrated his life by dancing in the stands. Mandela's granddaughter Zolika used a poem to emphasize just how much Madiba will remain a part of his people.
You are lodged in our memories. You tower over the world like a comet, leaving streaks of light for us to follow. We salute you.
But it was not all smiles and laughter. South African President Jacob Zuma was roundly booed. President Zuma reflected that Mandela's work was done not only in his country of birth, but across the continent of Africa.
People of Burundi enjoy peace and democracy today because of the seeds of peace planted by Madiba.
Archbishop Desmond Tutu closed the proceedings with words of prayer in the form of a pledge.
We promise God that we are going to follow the example of Nelson Mandela.
A private funeral will be held on Sunday. Jonathan Chase, C News.
And U.S. President Barack Obama was among the world leaders in South Africa to say goodbye to and remember Nelson Mandela. President Obama's speech was called Mandela, a giant of history. And as Jonathan Chase reports, in the spirit of reconciliation and in memory of Mandela, Mr. Obama paid a symbolic gesture of respect to Cuban President Raul Castro. We have more in this report.
United States President Barack Obama called Mandela a giant of history and reflected on how hard a task it was to put into words what he meant to South Africa and to the world.
To capture in words not just the facts and the dates that make a life, but the essential truth of a person, their private joys and sorrows, the quiet moments and unique qualities that illuminate someone's soul. How much harder to do so for a giant of history who moved a nation toward justice and in the process moved billions around the world.
It now remains to be seen what lasting influence Nelson Mandela's legacy has on that relationship. Jonathan Chase, C News.